Seth Rollins.
What I don't understand. Okay, go ahead.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Why wouldn't they put?
What was the point of the pay-per-view match?
No. I don't care about the pay-per-view match because we already know it's wrestling. It doesn't matter. Why wouldn't they? Because they already have an easy in for Roman Reigns. I won it at Saudi Arabia, so you could loop him in somehow. Why wouldn't they have Seth win the other one? Put Roman with Lashley, Seth in the other one. Seth beats Drew and Finn, and Seth wins. Lashley beats Roman, and who else was it?
Elias.
And then it's Seth versus Bobby. Roman, you could just go, I should be in because I'm the winner. So now you have Roman just loops in because we're going to do that anyway. And now you have Bobby and Seth fight, which could be a great match. And then you can find some stupid way to go, all right, they both have a match, says Kurt Angle. And now you have a four-way. You have Brock, Roman, Bobby, and Seth.
I have a better idea for you.
Why wouldn't they have done that?
You want to hear a better idea where I think would have been awesome?
And then Braun Strowman cashes in.
I like your Fatal Four-Way idea, but this is the idea I was thinking of, and I think this would have been awesome if they did it. You have Roman and Seth win, so obviously it's like, the Shield, right? Oh, yeah, it's the Shield. Where I saw you like the tweet, Joe, this past week, that tonight, where Raw is Dean Ambrose's hometown. You could have had Dean Ambrose come back as a heel and interfere with that match, so nobody wins, and then you have the Shield... You have the Shield fight for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam in a fatal four-way where you have the Shield and Brock. I think that would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would that's like a dream planning right there, but obviously that did not happen.
Both of our plans are dream planning because the way they did it was, I think it was stupid. I think it was dumb.
The reason why it's dumb is because we really don't know who's going to win tonight, and then also...
And we don't even know who's going to win at SummerSlam. How do we know that Brock Lesnar is going to lose at SummerSlam?
I know.
He still has like 5 months, he has like 4 months after that of being banned from the UFC.
But I think, he wants to train UFC. It's not like he's going to be wrestling Survivor Series.
Because he's been wrestling the last 3 months.
Listen, I think this
it's been 80-something days.
I've been saying it since, after Extreme Rules. I think this, either at SummerSlam or that Monday Night Raw, you're going to see Braun Strowman do something with that Money in the Bank contract. Whether it is he wants just a match or he's going to cash in some way. I don't care which way it is. I just think that's going to happen. I think you're finally going to get that transition. I don't think any of these guys are going to win it. And if they do, they're going to lose it the next night to Braun. I think they're just going to pull the trigger right away because this would be the perfect time to do it. But so Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns.
That's happening tonight.
That's going to be happening tonight. Decide the number one contender to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. Also tonight, you have the B Team taking on Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw Tag Team Championships. That's their deserving rematch.
I would like to have seen this take place at the Hardy compound at SummerSlam, but it looks like they're going to do it here. I don't expect Hardy and Wyatt to win.
The reason why I don't mind it happening now is because I feel like the B Team, when you look at them nowadays, they're just tweeners, they're like
tweeners.
They're
transitional champs.
They're
just waiting for AOP to crush them.
They're tweeners as in their baby faces and heels.
They're like both at the same time, because everyone's kind of loving their joke stuff and how they're having such a good time, but at the same time, people didn't really like them at first, so they're kind of going back and forth with it.
There's a lot of tweeners going around. These guys,
either way,
Velveteen Dream, for example.
Velveteen Dream is the biggest tweener of them all.
But I'm saying, I think you could see the B Team end up taking on AOP, which I love.
They're going to get crushed by the AOP.
Good. That's what I love to see at SummerSlam.
But you know what? These guys are great at selling things. They can make AOP look like very dominant, which would be great. And it would be a great time for a nice little call-up as well. See someone from NXT maybe come up and win something.
Yeah, of course. Anything like that is always cool to see, especially that AOP on the main roster has kind of been lackluster. They've still been doing good, but again, they haven't really had too much competition.
Yeah.
Started off with jobbers, and they kind of had, Titus O'Neil.
And then they had jobbers
right now.
You mean jobbers?
All right, but at least they're signed by the WWE.
They went from
jobbers.
They went from unnamed to named jobbers.
Yeah. But then also tonight, obviously we mentioned before, we have Stephanie McMahon to make the historic announcement. Ronda Rousey is going to serve 1 more week suspension, and then also confirmed for tonight by WWE on Twitter, Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre will go head-to-head tonight on Raw. Don't really understand how that got lined up, but
from their match. From their match.
Oh yeah. You're right.
The match, yes.
Yeah, because Finn Balor was going to win, and then
I really thought Balor was going to win.
Yeah,
we all
can wish.
No.
We all can. It would only make sense because he never
lost the Universal Championship.
Yeah, he never lost it.
He's
but
never going to get it.
I don't know about never, but I think you got to wait until Triple H.
Just wait till...
You wait for Vince to go to the XFL. All right, so Raw tonight's going to be okay at best.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that main event.
I think Raw tonight... Well... yeah, because Stephanie will open the show.
It doesn't matter because Bobby Lashley's going to win.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
No, Bobby Lashley's going to win, and then Roman Reigns is going to go, I should be in that match anyway, and they're going to put him in the match.
Roman's going to win, and he's going to be like, Extreme Rules was a fluke. I'm the big dog, and I'm going to beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
And then he's not going to win at SummerSlam again.
Pathetic.
He's not going to win again.
All right, how about this? Screw Raw, and let's go
move to
SmackDown Live, because I am telling you, this show was great.
This is probably
just think about the opening match. I'm just going to say it right now. AJ Styles versus Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega.
That might be one of the best TV matches in
it was so
2 years.
good. It was so awesome to see Andrade get this chance. Obviously, he didn't win, but he didn't. Obviously, if he would have got the win, if he got the win, it would have been awesome. But that would have meant that he would have had to face AJ Styles at SummerSlam. I don't think he's ready for that yet. Well, I do think he's ready.
He is ready for that.
Excuse me. He is ready, but the SmackDown Live page isn't ready for it.
Page here.
All right, but. This was a great match, and
I love the match because it's good for both guys. First off, you displayed Andrade Cien Almas' skills in the ring, and then you gave AJ a good opponent, and now you built up Cien Almas to at least get a bigger feud later on.
Yeah, no, definitely, and then I mean, just awesome. It's so good to see Andrade actually. Well, and also because since he got called up, you only saw jobbers, and then you have Sin Cara.
He's only wrestled twice on TV now.
Exactly.
No, three times.
Three.
Well, no, I'm saying before this, twice we saw him on TV before this on matches.
Yeah, I thought it was two jobbers and Sin Cara.
Yeah,
three jobbers.
Two jobbers and Sin Cara.
No, it's three jobbers.
All right, fine, and then AJ. So that's four. But all right, we'll move on now. Becky Lynch versus Mandy Rose. Becky Lynch won, and then Paige announced that next week, meaning tomorrow on SmackDown Live, that Becky Lynch will be taking on Carmella. If Becky Lynch beats Carmella, she will face her for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at SummerSlam.
That's obviously going to happen.
I'm very excited. I could not be more excited. I'm so looking forward to what they're going to have going, for SmackDown Live at SummerSlam. I think these feuds are going to be great. You have, you said,
that just screams, pre-show all the way. Carmella versus Becky Lynch. I mean, I like Becky Lynch and all. She can't.
I don't know if it's going to be pre-show. You want to know why? Because Becky Lynch is going to get a huge pop when she wins because she's going to win.
It could be. We'll see. The show is like 7 hours.
Well, yeah, because they jam pack it, so you don't know what you're going to...
Who knows? But to me, I have no real interest in this. I just see Carmella. I see Carmella holding on to this title for a while. I don't see Becky Lynch winning this.
I don't think so, because I think that they finally realized that, seeing at Money in the Bank how close Becky Lynch was to winning it and how the crowd is reacting. You have Becky Lynch every SmackDown Live. She's been in the match and she's been winning against everybody, and she's been on fire lately. Straight fire is exactly what she is right now.
And I was a guy who was not really a big fan of Carmella.
Yeah, but the way Carmella has been winning has been throughout cheating and bringing back Ellsworth. I know. I know that it's exactly. Well, that's not what all heels do. Only there are different types of heels. But I love Carmella, and I was happy for her when she won the championship. But what they're doing right now is that they are literally burying her opponents. That Asuka. Asuka would have destroyed her. Asuka should have destroyed her.
If it was a year ago, there's no shot. Carmella would have no shot.
Again, I love Carmella, but she was a joke a year ago. Even with the Money in the Bank contract, you knew she had that opportunity to cash in, but
Asuka
still.
was the hottest woman in wrestling a year ago now.
Yeah, and it stinks to see,
As I hated it. She was the hottest woman in wrestling a year ago now.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know how good I had it until
I think it would be pathetic if they don't pull the trigger on this with Becky Lynch.
And Carmella, honestly, I'm going to say she's terrible in the ring. All she does is scream and do a really crappy kick.
Yeah, the super
and then
kick,
it's over.
A lot of the women on the main roster are not very good.
That's not true. There are a lot of...
I think there are a lot of good ones. Mandy Rose is not a good wrestler.
I don't think
Alexa Bliss is that good.
I think Mandy Rose...
Bliss is good?
With the right opponent, she's good.
I think Mandy Rose has been improving. I agree with you where she's not the best in the ring, but I think, obviously
not
she's
the best
new.
Doesn't mean she's bad, though. I think she's good in the ring. I just, don't think she's great.
I think she's like average.
I think someone like Bayley has been phoning it in since she's not getting her way with her push. I haven't seen her really put on a show-stopping performance.
And that's not really her fault, though.
Of course it is. She's got to at least go out there and give it 100%.
Yeah,
how do you know she's not giving it 100%?
I don't see it. I don't see her putting on the matches that she put on, in NXT. And she's had
that's because the matches she put on in NXT, look who she had. She was going up against.
She was going up against Charlotte and Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
I mean, she's had opponents on the main roster.
And Sasha Banks, that is a woman who is phoning it in. That is the definition of phoning it in.
This is what I think.
On that too.
This is what I think. I think that you had such a you had glorified,
glorious
matches, and maybe even years between Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, where you're looking at them right now, and because of what they're putting out there, meaning the creative team is so bad that you're almost blaming that these women wrestlers for they're not doing what they've been, and this women division's kind of fallen off, which is why maybe they're throwing out all this stuff at us. But I think it's just because they're so down in the dumps right now with how bad it's been lately, because
I don't blame
these storylines for the women have really not made any sense.
I don't blame these women, because to blame women would say that they've never put on these great matches. Bayley and Sasha Banks have put on some of the best matches ever. I hate Sasha Banks right now. I think she just phones it in. She has nothing good about her right now, just because the way they write her character, the way she's being told to portray herself, is just not...
Well, it sucks.
It sucks, and you can tell she doesn't want it. You can tell the fans don't want it. All the little girls are going to scream when they hear Sasha Banks' music, because they're little girls. They don't understand. It's just what it is.
That's all the WWE cares about.
We're doing this for the cheap pop? That's what we're doing it for? How about let's get a bunch of grown men screaming and going crazy like they did in Brooklyn 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago when they had their match, when they said it was one of the best female matches of all time.
Yeah, it was awesome. It stole the show.
It did.
There was a ladder match with Kevin Owens later in the night, and the Bayley versus Sasha was...
It was the match of the night.
The best match of the night.
And, it's like, how are you not capitalizing on that? I just think that it's the wrong people are being targeted. It's just it's a systemic issue with the whole card. Everything. SmackDown, this SmackDown Live was really good because they knew exactly what they should be aiming for.
Exactly.
They knew exactly this is what people want. They want Andrade versus AJ to put on an amazing match because they know that can happen. Becky Lynch to go against Carmella. That's what people want. Samoa Joe to destroy somebody. Let's put Ty Dillinger in. People love Ty Dillinger. Great. People want that.
And also, Samoa Joe versus Ty Dillinger. Samoa Joe is who I think
I'm so looking forward to
is going to be saying who's going to be versing AJ Styles.
I want that to main event.
Honestly, I would love for them to do like a little like what they did on Raw. Not exactly, see maybe a little different, make it a little tournament-y-ish or something like that.
She already announced that. She actually announced two things that you mentioned tournaments, so I'll just bring it up now. But one, she announced last week that tomorrow night she's announcing who's the contender for AJ Styles. There's going
to be a match for that. There's no way she just picks someone. There's going to be a match.
What do you mean there's no way she just picked someone? That's what she did for Carmella with Asuka.
She's gonna pick someone, and then I bet you Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega come out, and she goes, I almost won last week. I deserve a shot, and there's going to be a match for it.
All right. Well, either way, whatever the case is, I personally don't think they're going to be doing that. I think they're just going to tell you who it's going to be, and I think it's going to be Samoa Joe. But also, since you mentioned tournaments, and I don't know if you follow Paige on Twitter or if you haven't, Paige really announced via Twitter that there would be a tournament on the SmackDown Lives leading to SummerSlam to determine who will be facing the SmackDown Live Tag Team champions, the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. The teams include The New Day, The Usos, Sanity, and The Return of the Bar.
Ooh, I think it's going to go to the bar. It's got to be the bar.
Sanity and the bar to the finals.
That's going to be a great match between Sanity and the bar.
So, obviously, you mentioned the tournament, so there already is one tournament happening on SmackDown Live.
That
so
also screams pre-show. The Bludgeon Brothers versus the bar.
That will definitely,
as much as I like all those guys,
that'll be a pre-show. But
the bar.
Either way, let's move on with the SmackDown Live recap because this card is amazing. Yeah. The Miz promo, it was about the death of Team Hell No, and anything the Miz does,
this is great.
It turns to gold. He's really one of my favorites. The A-lister, and he is awesome. And also another reason why I'm looking forward to SummerSlam with SmackDown Feuds is because we're going to get the Miz Daniel Bryan. That is happening at SummerSlam. You saw from this promo that this is happening, and also it's just the Miz is so good. should.
The Miz needs to be world champion.
He really does soon.
He's a guy who deserves it so much. He's been a fan of pro wrestling since he was a child. He's paid his dues. He's gone from a jabroni tag team wrestler to United States Intercontinental. He had his brief run as world champion, and that was almost 10 years ago at this point. This is a guy who lives and breathes